Is this podcast what anyone wants? But here we are, giving it to the people.
Giving them the business.
The business.
Well, I feel like that's what they want because, I've heard so many good things so far already.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people want healthcare and affordable housing and good wages and a good movie podcast.
Well, they get that, don't they?
Do we offer any of those?
A good movie podcast.
Maybe affordable housing. We can give it
Yeah,
to
I think
them.
we can take that. I think we can knock that one
Yeah,
out.
doesn't have Cincos 2020.
But before we get into it, I just wanted to make a couple of mentions. We had a couple of people follow us in the past couple of weeks that we definitely need to recognize. Obviously, the first one was Joe Walsh. He was one of our followers on YouTube. And then recently, I had 3 of my coworkers start following the podcast. Shout out to Kyoga, J-Lo, and Leo for subscribing to our SoundCloud. So thanks again, guys, and we hope you guys enjoy what you guys are listening to.
Wait, whoa.
And we look forward to interacting with you guys.
Yeah.
J-Lo is following
Thanks,
us?
David. What?
Did you say J-Lo?
J-Lo's following us, yeah.
J-Lo. The J-Lo.
Wow.
What were their names again?
Kyoga,
Kyoga.
J-Lo, and Leo.
Oh. Well, Kyoga, J-Lo, and Leo, thanks for following us from your favorite member of this podcast.
Oh, ouch. Actually, that's probably true. They said they like you guys better than me. They said it should just be uno and a half cinco. And I was like, great.
Yeah.
Because I'm the uno, right? And they go, yeah, you keep thinking that.
Yeah.
I was like, great.
Well, see, now that we have the separate recordings, we can just mute you, and it'll just be me and Ben.
That'll be perfect.
Actually, I'm surprised that there isn't a way to do that on SoundCloud where you can kind of do that, like you pick which tracks are running at the same time. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, for some reason track number 3 never gets played, but tracks 1 and 2 get played simultaneously all the time.
Well, I mean, we might as well just leave out the 3rd track, save on space, since no one's listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go-
sorry, Ben. I guess it's just gonna be me and you, Stu.
Gotta go green.
Welcome to another episode of Dos and a Half Cincos. This is episode number 7. I'm your host, David.
And I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben.
All right. So, did you guys have anything noteworthy happen to you guys this week? Popeye's chicken update, maybe?
I did not. I kind of put a stop. At least I'm on hiatus.
Put a pin in it.
I put a pin in it because since last time we talked, it was like there was a clear message from Popeyes that they were just like they don't have it right now and stop asking. So I guess we just gotta wait till an official announcement happens.
And then let the pandemonium commence.
Yep.
Well, I definitely stopped by Popeyes the other day just to double confirm, and it is confirmed that they don't have any more.
And that's been
Actually,
the Popeye
somebody
moment.
was at the counter. there was somebody at the counter, and he was asking. He's like, "Do you guys have the sandwich?" And then literally, the person had clearly been so tired of getting asked this question. Literally, stood there, stared at the person, and pointed up without taking the eyes off the person to the sign.
Oh man!
And I was like, "Dang!" And it says, "We'll be back soon" or something like that. And I was like,
right.
"Okay, so."
Yeah. So do
dude,
you got any?
Yes. And he proceeded to ask some questions. So when are you gonna? I was like, dude, there's people behind you that want to just get their chicken strips and the whole chicken and whatever, and eat at our gas station and then go back to work.
Yeah. Hurry up! I'm almost filled up.
I gotta make sure to beat it to the gas tank. I want to make sure I hit evenly at $30.
Who beats it to a gas
30
tank?
What?
Who beats it to a gas tank?
Apparently David does.
Oh,
I do.
That's a very lonely life, David.
Yeah, I probably should have said beat it to filling up the gas tank. That's not the word either. All right, we're just gonna move on from that. So that was your Popeyes update. This past week,
Wait, hang on. I don't think Ben, did you jar anything? I know we were kind of together when we found out that news.
Yeah, as soon as I found that out, I just stopped. There's no use trying unless some Popeyes have like a underground racket going So
Maybe you got to give them the secret sign, like I don't know.
The 5 fingers on top of your head like a chicken, like a rooster.
actually,
Sure, yeah.
there was
Gobble gobble and be like, meet me on back.
there was a funny story about a restaurant in, I think, Long Beach or something, somewhere in Orange County, where they sold fried chicken as a specialty item, and apparently the people were actually just going to Popeyes and just reselling it.
Nice.
Oh, I had heard about
Yeah.
that.
So 5
there
head
was also
play.
there was also that one thing. Oh no, it was a chicken and waffle spot, right?
I'm not actually sure what the restaurant did, honestly.
I think it was a chicken and waffle spot that was like competing with Roscoe's, and then they found out that there was like a secret camera that was placed in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and they were bringing in bags of Popeye
Yeah.
chicken. I think I remember that story, something like that. The one thing that I thought was really interesting was there's one man who's actually suing Popeyes for not having the chicken sandwich. Did you guys hear about that
What?
one?
I think we talked about
Oh,
this
wait.
last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
$5,000 because he just needed it
Yeah.
and wanted
Or
it so
oh no,
badly.
we were talking about this at Joe's house.
Yeah.
Were we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
It all blurs
Oh,
together.
okay. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. And then another piece of news from this week, more information got leaked, well not leaked, but released about the Breaking Bad movie.
Ooh.
That was a hard pivot from Popeye's news to Breaking Bad news.
Well, I mean,
Well, it was breaking news that there was no more chicken, and we're just going to move to Breaking
oh,
Bad.
and it's because Breaking Bad and Breaking News. Okay, I get it. I follow.
Because you were breaking the bad news that if you're following the
okay.
podcast, there's no more chicken.
I got you.
and Pollos Hermanos? Huh? Huh?
Oh man, if only
Ooh, if
that were real.
a moment of silence for Los Pollos Hermanos. All right, moment's over. So they said that the information that they were talking about is that that the movie is going to follow the events right after the series finale, and it will follow Jesse's storyline of what happens to him after he escapes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and then they said that none of Walter's family will probably be playing a part in it. Because there's this one portion where Jesse is talking about how he wishes he could move to Alaska. Things would be a little bit calmer and a little bit easier for him over there, stuff like that. And so I think that's what they're kind of teasing at, is that, you know, what his escape plan looks like, and then, you know, what kind of happens to him afterwards. You know, but Skylar will not be a part of it. Walt Jr. will not be a part of it.
Damn.
As far as I know. I don't know why. Are you guys disappointed? Did you want to see Skylar and Walt Jr.?
Not necessarily.
I wanted to see
I mean-
Walt Jr. He always had a lot of sass. Always gave fucking attitude. It was great.
Yeah, I just don't know how like it would work into it. I mean, there was people just probably talking. I saw something was like, oh, Walter White might be back in the movie. I was like, okay, let's settle down, everyone.
But yeah, to me, I'm very interested to see where they end up taking this. Apparently, Cranston's involved to an extent. So I don't know if maybe there might be a flashback that might include.
Or maybe he
Walter
didn't
White.
actually. Oh wait, spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, what were you going to say after that? I mean, what could you possibly
He
say?
he didn't actually dance away
Oh
from.
my goodness!
the drug
if you
game.
haven't, all right, hold on. If you haven't seen it by now at this point, and I have actually seen it at this point, literally, spoilers should not be a problem. I think.
So he danced away.
Into the night.
Into the night, away from the making crystal meth. That's what. Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say.
Of course.
Okay. Anything else up with you guys?
Not really. Really didn't do. I wanted to. There was something I wanted to watch, but I'll probably do it this week. It's on Netflix, and I had seen it pop up a while back, and I thought it looked like really interesting, and it was weird. I'd never seen it before, which is the Dark Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like so I wanted to watch like the original movie that they made like whenever that was, and then now Netflix has a series about it, or has a Dark Crystal series. So I was gonna try to watch some of that because like the animation, or not the animation, but or yeah, I guess it's animation, but originally it was like puppets and stuff. It looked really kind of interesting.
Yeah, I did want to check that out too because I've never seen the original Dark Crystal either. But yeah, I've heard really good things about the new series on Netflix, so maybe I'll check that out too.
But yeah, other than that, I was just watching U.S. Open and football this weekend.
Cool. Ben?
I've been watching a few things this past week. I tried picking up a TV show called Euphoria. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh, the HBO
Yeah,
one.
yeah. The one with Zendaya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just focusing on modern teens and what they have to go through everyday life, except with a lot of drugs. And it's very bleak, but very grounded, I would say. There's definitely there's a lot of nudity in it, like a lot of not the nudity that you'd want.
So like
It's not like Game of Thrones nudity.
like guy nudity from behind,
No,
where you just
from the
you
front.
just see the butt.
No, from the front.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
it's great. But
Why do people think that's the good nudity we want to see? Nobody wants to see that.
yeah, I mean, who wants to pause on that for 20 minutes and just stare at
Yeah.
it? I mean, who does that? Who does that?
Ben, do you do that?
But the show had really good music. Let me tell you. I've been actually listening to the show's soundtrack on Spotify for the past few days at work, and it's I gotta say, real good picks. So if anything from that, I mean, the show is good. It's just like I said, really bleak, so it's a little hard to watch sometimes. I'll keep trying to pick it up. I've only gotten through like 2 episodes, but I do enjoy it. The other thing I watched this past week was, are you guys familiar with the DJ group Justice?
Say that again.
Are you familiar with the DJ group Justice?
Oh, no,
Yep.
I've heard you mention it
Yeah.
or them.
They released this, what they call the space opera in movie theaters. So I went to go check that out. It was called Iris, a space opera by Justice. And it was essentially just them on a stage playing their latest album, Women Worldwide, with a light show going on and some camera work involved. No audience or anything. It was just them playing on stage. So,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it was kind of cool. I mean, like, the lights were pretty cool, like, what they did with it and the aesthetics for it. I will say that the experience was kind of ruined by some people that were behind us. I mean, I get, like, you're playing Justice and you want to, whoop and holler and all that, but God, these people behind us kept laughing every 2 seconds, I feel. It was, like, nonstop. There's some guys that,
Maybe
like...
they were
Yeah.
under the influence of something.
Well, I wanted to get a look at them when I left, and it was kind of strange, because they look like they're dressed to go to a club or something. I was like,
Instead,
what?
they were just
Dude,
at,
we're gonna
just
we're
at
gonna go
the
to this AMC.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess this is the fallback. I mean...
We're not old enough to get into a regular club because it's 18 over, so we can go to this instead. And I'm living my truth, okay?
Yeah, is this club 15 up, or is it 18 up?
Unless the movie was rated NC-17, then it'd be kind of tough for them to be able to get in anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so I checked that out. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend checking it out unless, like, you're really into Justice, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from what you told me just now,
Yeah.
and given the title of it, I would in my head I formed this thing where it would have been like something more to do with space. For
Yeah.
it being called a space opera.
I thought there was going to be a. I guess that was my fault for not looking up or looking into it more. I kind of just
Maybe
assumed
they-
based on the title.
Maybe
Space opera.
maybe they just meant space, like we are in a space and we're gonna play music now.
Yeah. Well, when you say it that way.
I mean, they're not wrong.
But yeah, aside from that, I actually started watching this old TV show just because my friends were talking about it a lot, and it got me kind of interested. And now my YouTube algorithm is completely screwed up because every video on there is literally from this TV show. It's from a TV show called G Gundam. Have you guys heard of that show?
No, but
I know
mean,
what a Gundam is.
I'm here. David's over there. That's all of your friends. So who told
I didn't recommend any
I
Gundam
certainly
stuff.
you tell you to watch this show?
Stu, did you?
Nope, it wasn't me.
Well, I have other friends, all right. I see him in the mirror every day when I wake up. He's my best
Oh,
friend.
that's the moment we're gonna. All right, go ahead and we're gonna disconnect Ben now at this point.
I mean,
What?
I've always known that, Ben, because, like, who the fuck would be named Bowie? What the fuck kind of name is that?
Yeah, what?
Is that the guy who went to the bathroom and then never came back?
No.
No.
Oh.
That person shall not be spoken of
Yeah.
about.
Can't say his name.
They're dead to everyone.
Yep.
Ooh.
I don't even know his name anymore.
All right. Well, that sounds like it was.
Wait,
This
G
week's in
Gundam. What were you saying about G Gundam?
Oh,
Oh.
Before I was making fun of you?
I mean, you already started that when we started, but
Well, the most recent one.
okay. So G Gundam is. I mean, I know you guys have seen like Gundam Wing before, right?
Is it related to Gundam or Gundam Wing?
It's related in the sense that they're robots that look like Gundams.
Okay.
That's about it. It doesn't have any of the same story elements or anything from Gundam Wing or anything. It's its
Okay.
own series. It's the only similarities are the robots kind of look like each other. However, this what made this show so amazing to me was how
The sex scenes.
well, aside from the sex scene,
Nudity.
besides the nudity, was how over the fucking top it was. Like, it was so fucking cheesy, and they just leaned into it really, really, really hard. So here's the setup for it. Earth is like a barren wasteland now, and every other country has moved into space. But there are still people left behind on Earth because they're too poor to move up there. However, to determine who governs the universe, every country holds a Gundam tournament every, I think, 10 years or something. I can't remember the span of time. And they'll send a Gundam that represents their country to go fight for them. So, you know, Mexico will have a Gundam, America has a Gundam, Japan has a Gundam, etc. Now, the Gundams that represent each country are so fucking ridiculous. Like,
Does the Mexico Gundam have a sombrero?
yes, and a
Oh
mustache.
my god.
And,
Yes.
and he has cactus arms.
And a mustache?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have to watch now.
And guess what his name is? Guess what his name is? It's Tequila
wait.
Gundam.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, okay, but my favorite Gundam in the whole series is the American Gundam.
Obviously.
They just, oh my god, it's a football player. But wait,
Nice.
it's not just a football player. It's also a boxer. So
Nice.
its shoulder
and
pads
also an astronaut.
detach from it and turn into boxing gloves.
Nice.
But wait, there's more. It has a 6-shooter revolver on its hip, and it only fires from the hip. So
Nice.
it's a cowboy. But wait, there's more. It has a surfboard. Holy shit! It's that's
Is
my
it like
freaking-
a Is it like a phase surfboard that can like slice through other Gundams, or
No, it's just a
is it
surfboard. It's just like a hover surfboard that it rides on.
Okay. Does it really need to ride on it? Doesn't it? Don't Gundams fly by themselves anyways?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just to flex on people.
Okay, nice.
It's just like, yeah, I got a surfboard. What are you going to do about it?
Just like real America, just like to flex on people, so.
Yeah, but...
It'd only be more American if it threw apple pie at people.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
An apple pie launcher.
That's its final attack, apple pie launcher.
It turns into a bald eagle.
It's like Heavy Arms, where his chest opens up and there's more Gatling guns. It's like that, except it's an apple pie.
Pie gun?
It's an apple pie launcher.
Oh my god, wait. So when it turns into the boxer form, it actually it has a chest plate on and it ejects it so it can show its bare chest for boxing.
Nice.
Holy fuck.
Now, why would you need boxing gloves? Like, boxing gloves are supposed to protect, like, your hands and also, like distribute the force of the punch so you don't just, like, kill each other instantly.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd want to do more damage if you're a Gundam, though.
But you wouldn't know he's a boxer without the signature
That's
boxing
true.
Yeah,
gloves.
and it would
He
hurt
would
his
just
hands.
look like a brawler.
Yeah.
That's true,
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah.
Stu.
Oh,
Sorry.
And also, what was it? Norway's Gundam is literally a giant windmill. They have like a whole fleet of them, and they're literally just windmills. Like, they don't have any specific design to them other than they have the face of a Gundam, and it's a windmill that flies.
Oh my god, I'm looking
This
at...
is this is brought to you by the country who also had that. Wait, was it a Japanese advertisement where the black guy walks into like they put him in the washing machine, he comes out, it's a white guy?
I know it was Asian, but I don't know what kind of Asian.
It might have been Japanese or Korean.
Or Chinese.
I know it's one of
or
those two.
Southeast
It's not
Asian,
Chinese.
or-
Yeah, Chinese would be way more on the nose about it.
Oh yeah, they would have literally just dumped bleach on him.
Yeah.
You white now.
Wait, who has the Mermaid Gundam? I'm just looking at random pictures.
Oh shit! I can't remember who's the mermaid gun, but holy shit, that
What
one
flag?
was great. It looked like a fish.
Yeah, that's what is that Whose flag is that? Finland?
I don't know. I can't remember who had the mermaid.
Where's
Gundam.
Darren when you need him?
Which one are you looking at?
The Mermaid Gundam.
Mermaid Gundam. I only see Dragon. Oh, okay. Sorry, I haven't scrolled down further enough.
Wait,
Lumber Gundam.
hang on.
Oh, yeah,
So
the-
having said all of this, I'm very curious right now.
Yeah.
Like we've touched on all like the stereotypical like Gundams. You got the American, the Mexican one. What does the Japanese Gundam look like?
He is a god Gundam.
Is he just
Yeah,
like a normal
no.
badass looking Gundam?
Yeah. No, he's literally called God Gundam.
Oh, okay. So he's the cool one, and everyone else is a meme.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's literally the whole thing. It's God Gundam.
Ooh, this is interesting. This show's very progressive. It includes a Taiwanese Gundam.
What you mean? The
The God
China
Gundam
Gundam?
just looks like
The
Right? You
what?
mean, right, David?
What?
The China Gundam, right?
No, there's a separate one.
What do you mean? There's a separate one? That doesn't make sense, David. It's the China Gundam.
God Gundam just looks like Wing Zero.
Yeah, but this one's cooler though.
He's
This says dragon.
He's got like the same headpiece, the same color scheme. Okay, whatever. Let's not turn
But
this
he a
into
dragon.
let's not turn this into the Gundam Wing rant episode.
Well, it's already too
Yeah,
late.
I mean, we could turn that.
Ooh, the Cuban Gundam. What the?
It's just a giant cigar.
Oh man.
No, it's just a giant defecting baseball player.
Wow. But yeah, they have like a whole fleet of these Gundams that represent every country. It's amazing. But yeah, I could if you want to know what the show's about, just like check the first episode out at least, and it also check out in the English dub because everything they say is so fucking over the top. Like, it's ridiculous. Everyone will be, like, talking in unison and shit, and, like, saying these dramatic speeches. Oh my god.
Is it on... are you watching it on Crunchyroll?
Actually, all the episodes are on YouTube, so...
What?
Yeah.
For free?
For free. So,
Shout out to Crunchyroll.
Shout out to our sponsors, Crunchyroll.
but yeah, actually,
subscribe
it might be
now
on
for-
Crunchyroll too, so... enter 2.5 cincos on Crunchyroll for a 200% subscription increase.
For Mobile Fighter G Gundam
Yeah.
subscriptions. All right. Well, this week was a little bit on the slow for like the news cycle and stuff like that, but that sounds a pretty good place for us to go ahead and move on. We move on to our box office rundown for this week. Coming at number 1 is It Chapter 2. That is our movie of the week. Falling from number 1 to number 2 is Angel Has Fallen. Taking the third spot is Good Boys. We reviewed that 3 weeks ago at this point. Holding the fourth spot is The Lion King. I don't remember how many... Oh, it's 8th week in the top 10. Down from number 3. Number 5 is Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. That's down from number 4. Overcomer is still holding pretty strongly at number 6. Number 7 is a surprise. Dora and the Lost City of Gold fell out of the top 10 last week and is back now in the top 10.
Ben couldn't be more thrilled.
Yeah.
It's almost like they found a lost city of gold. That is...
David, did you just shit your pants?
No.
Oh, okay.
Number 8 is
So
Ready
must
or
be
Not, down from number 5. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is still holding on to a top 10 spot, down from number 7 at number 9 now. And number 10, pulling up the rear, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Movies of note that have fallen out of the top 10 is Angry Birds, which is now placed at number 12, and Spider-Man was 8 because of the additional, uncut scenes that were added. That only lasted for about a week, and now it's down to number 13. Gentlemen, any thoughts, comments, concerns?
I guess.
aside from go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, fine. Aside from It Chapter 2, there wasn't actually any big releases, so it's not very surprising to say that it did very well. But considering the R rating, I'm surprised it just...
He did it.
I wanted to see if he was going to do it again, and there it is.
Yeah, and that's it for me on this podcast. I'll see you all next week.
Yeah. All right, shit. Well,
Yeah,
David, what do we talk about now?
Well, I don't know. I figure we could just keep talking about Dora and see maybe we can
Oh,
get
hey.
Ben to come
Hey,
back on because we're... Oh, see, look at that. He's back.
Okay.
So what was your favorite part of Dora the Explorer? My favorite part...
Was the whole thing? I know.
Yeah, I know.
My favorite part was the drug scene.
Would you stop? We talked about this last week.
And
So, I mean, in general, I think the only thing that's really surprising me at this point is still The Lion King is still holding. I mean, who at this point hasn't seen it?
Me.
Okay, that wanted to see
Oh,
it.
okay. Like, yeah, it is surprising.
That's still 4.3 million. I mean, that's not a lot compared to, obviously, I think you can combine all the rest of the number 2 through 20, and you still won't have enough to be able to overtake, It Chapter 2. But at the same time, I mean, like, holy moly, like, The Lion King is still top 5 for 8 straight weeks.
well, I mean, like, I guess it's kind of an easy pick for a lot of people, right? I mean, let's say you just don't know what to do with your friends or something, or maybe you're taking your kids out to go see a movie. You go in, and it's like, what are you gonna see?
And you've already seen Lion King 6 times.
Yeah.
And what's that? Lion King is still in theaters. Well, I guess we'll watch that again.
And that's how everyone went to go see Angel Has Fallen.
Although I guess I shouldn't really talk because when I was a kid, when the original came out, I'm pretty sure me and my sister made my parents take us to go see that. I think it was 7 times.
So you're the little shit who keeps
The
Lion
Lion
King?
King
In the top 10 for...
The good one. I kept the good one in theaters. I didn't see this pile of shit, so...
Well, the thing is, this is like, I think it makes sense for, Stu when he was like growing up, give an emotional connection to a movie like that, especially an animated film. It's very, it makes a lot of sense for that age group. But just for me, a lot of the reviews I keep hearing about The Lion King, it's just like it doesn't have that emotional like attachment that most other films that have that long staying. Like for example, like Titanic. I heard about one lady who watched it, I think, 32 times or something like that in the theaters.
Wow.
Because she just, I think she said she was a survivor or something like that. But there's usually, it's just like if there's an emotional attachment to something, that's will draw people to keep coming back. And everything I've heard from this version of the live action version just doesn't seem to have that staying power for some reason. It doesn't seem that way, but it looks like it does.
I haven't seen it, but I can just tell you just by looking at some of the pictures of stills, like to me it's like clear why nobody really liked it is because it looks bad.
Well put.
Bad still gets you
that's,
fourth place for 8 straight weeks.
Which that's the surprising part is that it's just got like a death grip on this, staying in the top 5.
Well, yeah, nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
I mean, if it was, I would have seen
shots.
it, but I haven't, and neither have you. And David, you didn't see it either?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
but I guess because this week nothing really big's coming out, so maybe this is my time to go take a look and see.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this week's gonna be pretty slim pickings again too. So
I mean, Hustler I heard is really good.
Oh, yeah,
it is
actually,
certified fresh.
I did hear
that's like
good.
literally the only one coming out. Which I mean, from what I was looking at, it's like, oh, we're probably gonna end up watching that one.
All right, cool. So it's decided. We're going to go see David's co-worker.
Yeah, J-Lo, thank you for listening to our podcast. We're going to be reviewing your movie next week.
We're going to take a real
yeah.
good look at you.
Yeah, J-Lo, your coworker, right?
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
Is your coworker's name actually
Correct. Jennifer Lopez.
for real?
For real.
Is she like Michael Bolton in Office Space?
I think she actually enjoys Jennifer Lopez's music.
Damn.
I mean, she probably
It'd be funnier if she despised
You know what the funny
her.
thing is? I haven't asked her if she liked the entire catalog.
Do you celebrate her entire catalog?
I do. What's not to love?
That's funny.
I mean, what's your favorite song? Oh, it's so hard to pick.
Shout out to J-Lo.
Yep. So yeah, that probably will be our movie to pick for this week.
Shit, I was gonna say something, I forgot.
Sorry, Stu. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, that's probably everything else. Seems like it should be quite in place, but it looks like it Chapter 2 had just monopolized the entire weekend, and I think it probably. If I were a betting man, I'd probably say it would probably still be there next week.
Yeah.
At number 1.
In top spot.
And I think Hustlers might come in pretty close to number 2, probably at, I don't know, probably.
So do you want to
28 million?
Do you want to take a wager right now to see if Lion King will fall out of top 5 or not by next week?
Ooh, what are we wagering?
Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
Ooh.
Loser buys everyone a Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Well, how
at some point.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
I don't care how you get it. You fucking go get that sandwich.
You just you go to like the Popeye's chicken forum and just be like hey, is there any meetings of
No, see,
you can get
I gotta get my fix.
those chicken sandwiches? Yeah.
Come on, baby. Now what you got to do is you got to apply for a job at Popeye's corporate office, and then once you're on the inside, then that's where you can. All right, guys, where are we keeping the chicken sandwiches? And then that's how.
And the best part is they'll teach you how to make it. Not only that, but they'll pay you to make. To learn.
Man, that's a job.
You'll have the power to make it whenever you want to.
Then 10 years later, we just walk away like nothing happened.
Oh, speaking of chicken-related news, Jolibee is moving its headquarters to West Covina.
Wait,
That's a
wait.
That's
Is
a
this
smart
real?
decision.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't
for
know if you're
real,
shitting
because
me.
I'm not kidding you.
No, he's shitting you not.
I shit you not. It is moving to West Covina.
Like the corporate office, or is it going to be like
The corporate office. No, the corporate office, and then they're also going to be. They said they're probably going to be building a Jollibee at the Eastland Mall.
Oh my god. Wait, does that mean there's going to be like a full-time dedicated guy in a Jollibee suit?
I wouldn't put it past them, but the part of their like press release that they made was they wanted to be the In-N-Out of West Covina. You know how like they wanted to be what In-N-Out is to Baldwin Park.
In-N-Out is the In-N-Out of everywhere. Like you can't be the In-N-Out of something.
No, like
there will be
the
an
corporate
In-N-Out
office
there.
is the corporate office is in Baldwin Park
Wait,
for
no,
In-N-Out.
it's not.
So, yeah,
It's in Irvine.
well, I mean, also Irvine. Well, it's both.
The original In-N-Out, the very original In-N-Out is from Baldwin Park.
Oh, I see.
And I think they also have their training In-N-Out
Center
University
in-
there or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, In-N-Out U. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then so they wanted Jollibee to be the Jollibee of West Covina, I guess.
The Jollibee wants their Jollibee in West Covina to be the Jollibee of West Covina. Is what you're saying.
No, it was more elegant in the other way.
Is the Jollibee just going to be like in the corner of a seafood city? It's in the back corner.
No, they
That's
said
the
it's going to
corporate
be
office.
they wanted to do a 13-story building.
13
Like they
story
want to
building.
build one, or maybe they can take that Wells Fargo building.
Actually, I was thinking maybe they would take over Pacific Palms and just they just build that into the into the Jollibee.
I think it'd be much more fitting for a Filipino outfit to just be like tucked in the corner of the seafood city, or what's the other one?
The Red Ribbon.
No. The other Filipino grocery store.
I only know Seafood
Yeah,
City.
Seafood City.
There's two. There's like right across the street from each other.
That's
Oh,
a
the
Rite
other
Aid.
Seafood City.
Yeah, oh, it's Seafood City 2. Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not even Seafood City.
Yeah, they're
2,
all
it's just
numbered.
The Seafood City on the other side.
Oh, it's just okay. Yeah, that's the good one. The other one's kind of cheap.
So after the food's been there for a week, then it gets all shipped over to number 2 for another week. So yeah, no, I'm sorry we had to segue. I just remembered that. That was some interesting news I got today. I was like, what? Yeah, they want it to be what Rosemead is to Panda Express and what In-N-Out is to Baldwin
How do you
Park.
know all this stuff?
Someone sent me an article
Oh
today
my god.
about it.
I guess the other one's called Island Pacific.
No, it's Seafood City too.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
There was a hostile takeover, and they just kind of took it. So
Turned into a Seafood City
Yeah.
too. So that's it for our box office rundown for this week. We'll be right back with our movie pick of the week, It Chapter 2, after these messages. Are you eating shrimp chips?
This episode brought to you by Shrimp Chips. It's not quite shrimp. It's not quite
shrimp chips in Seafood City.
and Jollibee.
They're not quite chips,
They're not.
but they're also not shrimp because Ben can eat them.
No, like
Shrimp
actually,
chips.
I can't eat shrimp.
Shrimp chips. That will still kill Ben because it's got authentic, that authentic ocean and shrimp
That authentic
Dust.
ocean flavor.
from the briny deep.
This kills the Ben.
Do you have a Ben in your life that can't eat shrimp? Well, here's your solution. Just feed him some shrimp chips.
Get him out of your life by feeding him shrimp chips. Who needs a person who can't eat shrimp in their life?
I don't.
You.
And welcome back. Right now we were going to be reviewing the movie of the week, It Chapter 2. Ben, what have you got for us?
It Chapter 2 After observing a billboard for a clown college, Homer cannot resist becoming an official Krusty the Clown impersonator. Things run awry, however, when he's mistaken for the real Krusty the Clown by none other than the Springfield Mafia.
What's wrong, homie?
That's it. You people have kept me down long enough. I'm going to clown college.
That was my favorite part of the episode.
My favorite part of the episode was all 22 glorious minutes of it.
Okay. That was a nice switcheroo there, Ben.
Yep. Wait, did we all watch something else?
Wait, you didn't watch It Chapter 2? You watched the...
You just watched that
the
Simpsons
episode.
You just watched that Simpsons episode for 3 hours.
No, that was it, Chapter 2. You know, Homer becomes a clown.
And then kills everyone.
Yeah. I guess we didn't watch the same thing. But, we'll just, we'll make it work.
Just wing. Why don't you just wing it, man?
Let's
just
swing it.
Just wing it.
Yeah, let's swing it.
All right, Ben, go ahead and wing it. What is It Chapter 2 about?
I didn't have anything else written down.
Oh.
That was it. I leaned too hard into it, and I flew too close to the sun, and now I'm just sitting in my own shit. You were supposed to just move on from it, You're supposed to just ignore me.
We lean... You are the load-bearing synopsis that we need. Everything else collapses without it.
Yeah, like this podcast is
Like
collapsing in on itself.
Yep, like a black hole. Without it, you
singularity.
are our Cinnabon.
I don't even remember how that started.
What? Load-bearing Cinnabon?
I know, how did that start?
Load-bearing Cinnabon?
Yeah.
That was like episode 4, I think.
That is correct. We were talking about the Montclair Mall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Everything realized.
Pretty much all malls, the foundation is built on the Cinnabon. So.
And the Sparrow.
And Sparrow, yeah. Orange Julius is also kind of there.
Yeah. They all share that.
And
load.
hot dog on a stick.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Those are like the 4 pillars. Was that 4?
Yep.
Sure, let's call it 4. There's like the pillar. They're like the 4 foundational pillars that keep the mall from just utter chaos. Anyways, It Chapter 2. It was the second movie of the first It movie. See, this is what happens when I have to do the synopsis.
It Chapter 2 follows the story of 7 kids who were in the original Chapter 1, 27 years later, where they are faced with their fears once again. How will they survive? Will they make it in time? Tune in next week.
Dragon Ball Z.
I was like, oh, this sounds really, really good. And then I was like, I'm running out of steam. Oh, crap. This is turning into a really bad recap.
Well,
and Frieza.
Yeah, and Frieza's back. Were you reading that, or were you just off the top of your dome?
That was off the top.
Okay.
I only got
well, that's fine. I mean, everyone should know by now. It's the second movie of the Killer Clown. And yeah, pretty much what David said.
Yeah.
So 27 years later.
27 years later, Bill Hader's in it. Yay.
Yay.
Bill Hader was awesome in it. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. So, right. Stu, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was okay.
Fair?
Yeah, I wasn't like blown away by it. If I would say anything, I would say the first one I definitely enjoyed more. The second one had its moments, but ultimately I think it didn't measure up to the first one for me. So, I mean, I would still recommend watching it. For me, it just wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best way to sum it up. Like you're kind of almost obligated to watch the second one because it ends the saga.
Mm-hmm.
It ends this whole narrative of what happens. So I feel it's kind of necessary, but at the same time, the one thing I would have to tell people to watch out for, it's almost a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, that's
That caught me off guard.
Yeah. It was really long. Actually, before going to see it, I didn't know it was 3 hours long, and as soon as I got the tickets, I'm like, holy crap, this is 3 hours. So I made sure to pick the earliest show time I could, so I don't, get home at like 12 or something.
right. Yeah, I saw it at 11 a.m. So
okay.
And I got out at like 3.
You're like, what?
Where is my day gone?
Yeah, I saw it at 6:45, and then I got out of the theater. It was already around 10:30 almost. I was like, oh, my goodness, this is a long movie. So if you had to give it a rating,
for me,
what would you give it?
For me, I'll probably give it I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay. Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, so really long, and unfortunately I don't think a lot of it was necessary. So
okay.
I thought it was a lot of fluff, I guess. There's not a lot of substance in there, but watching it, I would be lying if I say I didn't enjoy what I was seeing to some extent. It's not something that I fell in love with it and I said, oh, this is like the greatest movie I've ever seen, or really scared, it really scared me and really shook me to my core, and had a really good narrative arc. I can't say any of that though. It was a good watch though. It wasn't a movie that I wanted to just leave halfway through and tell Letty, hey, I gotta go take a dump. And then just leave her at the theater.
Just leave Letty at the theater.
Yeah.
I have to go take a dump. I had to leave.
Letty's gonna be like, wait, I know what that means.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. But yeah, it was an okay movie, like Stu said, and nothing that amazing. It wasn't too great though. I mean, during the movie, there were times where I'm like, all right, this is kind of dragging a bit. Or check your watch, see how much time's passed, and then when you look back on it, you really see the cracks and tears in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you had to give it a rating, what would you give it?
Similar to Stu, probably 6.5, actually.
Okay, Stu?
I was just gonna say all those points are, I agree, but it's really those are the main points that the main criticisms. It had everything else, the actors and everything. Those were all great.
Yeah.
It was good production value and all that stuff. So.
Okay.
It's not a badly made movie.
Yeah. I was
that's
gonna
true.
say the production value on it was really good. All this, the sets, costumes, everything. The way they set the town. Once again, it was really good. The visuals were really striking too. I can't say that it was something really dull to look at. A lot of the set pieces, a lot of the scenery in the movie, a lot of the visuals that was created by Pennywise. It was really nice to look at. But it did do anything for the story? Not really.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel like a lot of this movie, compared to the first one, relied a lot more on jump scares. It definitely relied more on its visual. And then it spent a lot of its time, like you were saying, fluff. A lot of it's building up that backstory. So I one of my coworkers I was speaking to about the movie today mentioned that he said that the movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes long. He thinks it could have been down to about 2 hours and 10.
Yeah.
And it would have still probably just had much impact. Obviously, they wanted to be able to kind of build this idea of them having to come back together to be able to face Pennywise one more time and have a little bit more substance behind it than just saying, oh, the clown's back, let's go. Because that movie would have been probably 40 minutes at most.
That would have been Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson presents It Chapter 2.
Standing Tall, and then subtitle Standing Tall.
Right. Well, yeah, because if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in it, they wouldn't have
Don't you say it.
to spend
Don't you
so
say
much time.
Don't you say it.
they could just all teleport to where they need to be. You know? It's like, I live in Antarctica now. Oh, just come back to Derry. Oh, okay. Like 5 minutes later, they're back. I'm just saying, if they had the rock in this, it would be done. They wouldn't even have to venture down in that stupid little hole. They could just fucking teleport in there.
Although, I will say this. Can you imagine the climax being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson suplexing Pennywise into
that would have
oblivion?
been awesome.
So, yeah, let's all go see Doom again, where he actually does wrestle Carl Urban at the end of the movie.
Yeah. But then he was the bad guy, and I'm not really down for that. So.
Oh, yeah.
Doom spoiler. Sorry, everyone.
Well, but, I mean, all those thoughts aside, I still thought it was okay. I definitely would have given the first one probably a 7.5, and then this one gets knocked down a point, because I just think pacing was decent. I mean, it didn't feel like a 3-hour movie the entire time, but there were definitely points where, like you guys said, it was dragging a little bit on the backstory. I'm like, they could have probably combined a couple of them together just to be able to kind of make it easier, to be able to kind of shorten it and condense it. But overall, it definitely made it kind of interesting, and it definitely helped weave the two stories together. That way they didn't feel like they were so, separated, but it definitely felt a little bit more integrated. So
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you try to make a movie out of an 1,100-page book.
Yeah.
So, like, all that stuff plays in an 1,100-page book, but when you try to, like, cram it all into a movie, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, wasn't the original movie that was done, that one was also really long, right? Wasn't it like 3.5 hours?
That was a miniseries.
Yeah, it was a series.
Yeah, so...
You idiot.
Sorry. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you're a
Neither did I.
Well, but do you guys remember what the runtime was for the entire thing?
I do not.
The miniseries?
Uh-huh.
Well, luckily, I have something at my fingertips called Google. And it was 192 minutes.
So 3 hours and 10 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's still shorter than it chapter 1 and 2 put together.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so...
Well, I mean, I think with all the drag and everything, I think this could have probably benefited from being a long-form TV series, honestly.
yeah, that might have been pretty good.
Oh well, hindsight.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our regular review on it. We're gonna step into the spoiler zone. We're going to be talking about our favorite parts of the movie and some of the important plot points. So stick around if you want to hear what our thoughts are on that. If not, then go see the movie, and we'll see you next week or something.
Yeah, and still listen to this so that we get like the what do they call it? So we get the money eventually. Like we get the viewer. What do they call it? Retainment or whatever. Just whatever. Shut up. I'm edit this part out.
Thanks, Stu. So the one thing I wanted to talk about is how Pennywise at the very end, the scariest form that he takes, reminds me of the giant enemy crabs from Genji.
Wow. Wow, really? I mean, I guess I could see it.
That was the first thing that popped in my head, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's a giant enemy crab." I could not unsee it.
Wait, I don't remember that happening in Overwatch.
Wow.
But no, the PS3 game that was one of the launch titles. It became a meme.
Yeah. It was a historical
was that
battle.
the crab battle? That's not the crab battle one, is it?
Or, I mean, yeah, that is the crab battle.
That is the crab battle one?
Where it was historical Japanese battles that actually took place. And here's a giant enemy crab.
Yes. That's all I I couldn't unsee it at that point, and I actually started laughing when he turned into that, and I was like, I know this is supposed to be scary, but it doesn't scare. This one's not scary.
Actually, I think a lot of people have that sentiment about this movie, is that it was pretty much not scary for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like the first movie did such a good job of cranking up the scares, even if they were just jump scares or something.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, the first one for sure. Yeah,
they what was it? There were two scenes that I remember from the first film, and this film, like, I think there was probably one scene where I was like, oh man, they got me good on that one, but that's about it, and it wasn't really that memorable. So in the first movie we had the scene where Georgie first sees Pennywise in the gutter, right? I mean, deep down inside you're like, okay, I know what's gonna happen, but it just like drags it out so long, where he's talking to him and Pennywise is trying to get him closer and closer and closer, right? And you just feel this dread just approaching you, and it's just not stopping. And finally, when it does happen, it goes all in on it. Pennywise bites his arm off. I remember being so shocked by that. I'm like, oh my god, they just showed that. I thought it was just going to be like, he just takes
them dragging the body in and he was going to be disappeared.
Yeah, but no, they like ripped his arm off. I'm like, holy fuck, That really set the tone for the movie. And then the other scene was the garage scene. I really like that scene. It was the same kind of thing where it just slowly becomes a lot more unnerving as time goes on, where they're going through the slides and then you slowly see Pennywise. All the kids start freaking out. They're trapped in this garage. They don't know what to do, and finally you get this moment of relief where they they knock the projector off, but then it just keeps going, and then at that point it's like, oh shit, there's no way to stop this, and then so that scene really took it for me.
Yeah. And that scene in particular was like, that's like an example of how to do like a good jump scare, because like that whole time those slides were going and it's slowly revealing Pennywise in the slide. Yeah, like you just like I just remember having like that like tingle up my spine, like oh my god, it's he's in the slides, and then you think it's over, but then oh no, he's gonna pop out of the projector thing, or the screen, or that screen they were watching it on. So
yeah, and he does, and it was great. That payoff was great. In this one, there was only one real scene I remember being like, oh man, the payoff of that was really good, and it was the scene where Bev goes and goes to her old apartment or her old home. That, I mean, I know they showed
the old lady.
Yeah, they showed the trailers for that like a lot, right? But
that was the first trailer I saw for it.
Yeah, but they changed it, which I was really happy about. They altered it away from what they showed in the trailer, which was really cool. Kind of subverted your expectations for it, and you're expecting to see naked old grandma run at Jessica Chastain, but then you got the CGI. Deformed old woman just running at her. It's just like, oh shit, So, yeah, payoff for that was pretty good, but I would still say that the scares from It Chapter 1 really still stuck with me more than the ones in this one. I can't even really tell you another one that really stuck out to me in this one.
Honestly, for me, I felt like the most interesting part that I had wasn't the ending. It was actually them like seeing them all together and then them having to like separate to be able to go get each other's totems. I liked those parts the most.
Really?
That was the thing that stuck out to me, was all the backstory stuff, and then to have that final battle where they pretty much just they talk Pennywise down to size, and then they rip his heart out and then crush it, and that's how they beat him. I'm just like, that's the payoff I get for sitting here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I was not a fan of. Well, first I want to circle back to what the scene that Ben was talking about, pretty much the scene from the trailer. For me, that was it. To me, well, this is just for me. It was underwhelming for me, just because I guess I'd seen it in the trailer, and when I remember the first time I saw it, I was like getting that same kind of tingle from like the first movie in those scenes. and then I guess I saw it so many times in trailers that like once the scene came, I was just like, just didn't hit me that hard.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I could see that.
It's kind of like a meh.
Yeah.
so I almost, if they hadn't shown that in the trailer, I think I would have been like shitting my pants.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, I could totally see it from that angle. Like, it really cheapens the blow because you know when it's going to happen too. That's the problem with it. Like, the trailer showed you step by step. Okay, these are the beats of what's going to happen. This is when she's going to disappear. This is when you have to expect something's going to happen. But you know, I am glad that they kind of took steps to doing something that wasn't from the trailer. You know. What?
I felt like they were more happy with just trying to gross you out than actually scare you. That's the way I felt. Like a lot of the
I think
decisions and special effects were geared towards that instead of building that suspense and then just really just kind of giving it to you at like an unforeseen time. I think the only like scary part that I probably like remember is at the very beginning when the guy's boyfriend gets thrown over the river and then you see a hand come out. I was like, oh, he got there in time. And then it kind of like fades in and out as he's like, you know, going underwater, coming up from water. And then you see like the figure kind of come up and I'm like, holy crap, that's Pennywise. So,
yep.
I have to say though, I mean that scene was pretty brutal, but at the same time, I don't really think it was necessary. I know it was part of the books, or part of the book, but I mean it was definitely one of those things I viewed as, you know, kind of the fat of the movie that you could definitely trim off. It was kind of providing this or setting up the story to have something to do more with like a homophobic message or something, and it doesn't do anything with it. It's just like, oh hey, you know, it's just like there's this guy and he's gay and we're beating him and we throw him out and you know he's drowning and there's Pennywise, he ate him. Oh my gosh.
I think
he doesn't care if he's gay or not.
See, I kind of heard some people kind of echoing that sentiment, and for me, I actually kind of liked how that scene opened up, and the reason why is because it kind of shows you like, or kind of it illustrates kind of like how sinister like this Pennywise, you know, actually like really is, because like I mean like because like, you know, he just takes this person who is just, you know, beaten. I mean, obviously Pennywise doesn't care that he's gay and that he was just, you know, just got beaten up because he was gay. Like he just, you know, he's just gonna take this person and just fucking chomp their heart out. So for me, I actually thought I liked that scene, but I know a lot of people, you know, saying that they don't really like it. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with like the content of it. It's just like I wish it actually had something to do with the story. You know, they propped it up and
because at that point you don't know which characters are who. Yeah. I thought that was like one of the guys that grew up from the original set.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, which character from the original Kids was gay? And then and then you find out that one was well, I mean, I was trying to like put it together. I was like, I was like trying to figure out. I was like, which kid is this one supposed to be? Obviously, he's not wearing glasses, so he's not, you know, Bill Hader's like character. I can't even remember all the kids' names.
Bill Hader, kid version.
Richie.
Kid Bill Hader.
Richie.
Kid Hader.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the one thing that like stood out to me. I remember, and then also I feel like, for me, I felt like the one actor for the entire movie that just literally nailed it every single time was Bill Hader.
Oh my god, yeah, he stole every scene.
He was hilarious every single scene. I wanted more of him.
Well, it wasn't that he was hilarious. I think he really knew how to present himself in every scene. You know, it was a lot of his scenes, did call for him to be, you know, the comedic relief, but you know, there were the emotional scenes that he was a part of, and I really think he nailed those down like hard. Like at the end, towards when Eddie died, right? You know, he really portrayed like that he was so confident and determined that Eddie was okay, that they're going to get him out. It wasn't that he was like delirious or anything. He was he's saying like, hey, he's fine. We gotta get him out. Come on, guys, let's get him up. And then when everyone starts to leave and drag him out, like that sorrow and the weeping that he was doing, it was crazy. Bill Hader really is showing that his acting chops.
Yeah, absolutely. He had like enormous range. Like, he was the comic relief when things were starting to get stale. He was able to navigate like really serious conversation. Like, he was able to portray like nervousness in a way that just kind of was like, everybody was like, that is exactly how I would probably react.
Yeah.
It was very relatable, very easy for me to be like, if I was in the middle of this idea that I had to go fight my like childhood enemy, that is like the supernatural thing, I would probably be trying to like crack jokes and like trying to lighten the mood a little bit, and it probably wouldn't land.
Yeah.
But in the same, like, very similar to that, but when he does it, it's hilarious. It's funny, and it definitely breathed a lot of life into the movie, especially every scene he was in when he goes to the arcade and picks up the coin and then just like is standing around, and then when they all throw their totems in and they're like, oh, it's not gonna burn, and then he's like, shut up. Because it's metal, but he just and then I don't know if maybe this was ad-libbed or not, but I feel like this was just his personality coming through, that right when Pennywise has his like attention turned to the other group and he throws a rock at him and he goes, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
That part was amazing, I gotta say. Like, when he says yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and then as soon as Pennywise opens his mouth,
and he gets pulled up and then he gets mesmerized.
Like, he just drops so quick, he's just so confident and cock full of himself, and then he just drops. Like, that was crazy. That was really good. I was just like, oh fuck,
Yeah, I was super not expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie in and of itself, not the greatest. The writing could have been a little bit better. Pacing could have been a little bit better. But I will say, the casting director who casted all of them did an absolutely fantastic job.
Yeah, who would have known that the Old Spice guy would have been our hero? Who would have known?
So, I mean, for me, I think they really casted really, really well. Yeah. Being able to find adult versions of the child actors who played from the first film. So, that definitely, I really wish that they had a little bit better, script writing, I guess, a little bit, to be able to kind of like let them expand a little bit. But that's what you get when you have a book that already has an ending. Well,
I mean, the first movie's writer was, he left the movie pretty early on, and the director, he's capable, but it shows that he can't really do anything without a good script, with Chapter 2. So the first It writer was the creator. I think it was creator of True Detective Season 1, Cary Fukunaga.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. I know, right?
Best, like, one of the best series ever made, I would say.
Yeah, I know.
Season 1, True Detective. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he was only involved with Season 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they let him go on It Chapter 1, but he already finished the script for it, so he left before production began. It Chapter 2 began, he didn't have any part to do with it. So, I think that's
really fucked up.
Yeah, but I guess that's what happens when you have great source material, you have a really great cast, you have a decent director, but you just don't have that really strong structure to be able to kind of build around. So, I mean, I think it could have been a lot better. I think it could have been a lot more if they probably had kept, everything else consistent. If they had kept the same screenwriter, I think they would have had a good chance to really improve on the formula from before.
Yeah. One more thing. The kid and the bully. Do you guys feel like they were necessary to the story?
The kid and the bully?
Yeah. Like,
oh, you mean the other, like, the kid that got murked by by it?
Yeah.
In the fun house. And
yeah.
then the bully.
I think the kid is yes.
The bully, like, from the one from the first one, who's all grown up now.
Yeah. I don't know. Those.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a little bit. I mean, it's not completely unnecessary, but I feel like they wanted to be able to kind of solidify a second a secondary like enemy, I guess, that kind of explained what happened, why what happened to the other kid after he knifed his dad in the throat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I can kind of understand him becoming... but that story arc was what, maybe 15 minutes worth?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that probably would have shortened the movie down to a 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
But I feel like the kid's story arc, where he lived in the same house as he did before, and then on top of that, he's trying to save him because it's like it wants to kind of show the same way is the main kid's name's Billy. Is that right?
Bill. Yeah.
For the sake of argument, sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Billy. Well, his idea has always been like he was like kind of the ringleader, right? He was the one who lost Georgie in the first place, is running the show, and this is his best way to be able to kind of for them to be able to solidify that this is the same guy, that he hasn't changed. He still wants to be a protector. He's still like the older big brother. He still thinks that it's his responsibility to protect, the younger ones. Like for example, so he kind of like pseudo takes the kid under his wing, kind of like he wanted to do with Georgie, but then was unable to save him.
Now that you say all that and I'm thinking about it, because he did all that, he's probably the reason the kid died. Like,
yeah,
because Pennywise knew about it and is like, oh, I know what's gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna kill that kid.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's now that I think about it, it was his fault. For getting involved with the kid.
Good job, James McAvoy, you dumbass.
Way to go, idiot. But so now circling back to where David was talking about earlier, the ending, I was kind of like, for me, it was almost like there was a meta joke, or not joke. There was like a little meta arc in the movie where they were saying like how the guy didn't know how to end his movie or his book that he was writing, and I felt like that was kind of the same thing that happened with how they defeated Pennywise, because I was like, for real, dude, this is how we're doing it.
The moral of the story is, if you're bullied in school, bully them back.
Yep, that's a good moral.
It is. They literally bullied a space alien into submission.
Yeah, so I was not a fan of that. I won't go so far as to say it was like equivalent to the Midsommar ending, but I was just kind of like, when I realized that that's what they were doing, I was just like, eh.
Get it? Because they're losers, and now they're fighting back. Get it?
They are the losers.
Get it? You guys get it?
You're never alone.
It's like, I was just thinking, like, you're meaning to tell me that the Native American tribe couldn't figure that part out, was just to dunk on it?
Wait, guys, maybe we should say hurtful things to it.
Yeah, and then...
Wait, so all he had to do was just bring him onto this podcast and then just tell him how stupid he is.
We'll just pretend he's David.
His smell and the hair.
We never actually brought that stuff up, but now that you can bring it up. And that voice.
Yeah, the voice is bad.
And that whimper. Jesus.
And how he always says he's Taiwanese and not Chinese. That's like...
Yeah, it's the same thing, right, David?
I always say I'm American.
We get it, David.
Hey, David, what's the difference between Taiwanese and Chinese? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm American.
But did you like at the end how they all jumped into the quarry again and they bathed themselves? And
you mean the quarry?
The quarry.
Fucking
quarry,
idiot.
Carrie. They jumped into the Jim Carrey, and then and they washed away all their past trauma, and what do you know? The scars of their childhood have just magically disappeared. Wow.
I mean, no, I didn't really like that, if that's what you're getting at.
Was so, wow. The writing on this. Wow.
And then,
I mean, I could...
And then Bev and Ben get together.
Oh, yeah, that was the best part of the movie. Let me tell you, the best moral of the story is that Ben always gets the girl. You may think at him and look at him in middle school, oh, he's fat, he's ugly, he's really awkward. But look at him now. Huh? Huh, Mike? Huh? Huh? You think in 8th grade that he was fat, maybe he was a little insecure, and now look at him now. He's really successful. He's really fucking hot. Yeah, go fuck yourselves, everyone else in 8th grade.
He's got a boat. Yeah, you showed those 8th graders, Ben.
No, Ben did. We're talking about the movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You okay there, Ben?
You need a minute?
Yeah, so the ending was it was a little rushed, but
Come back to me.
but yeah, like the ending, like you said, it was a little underwhelming, and it felt kind of weird that they were saying all those things about how the ending always sucks. It's like they were prepping the audience in advance. Hey,
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're letting you know.
Yeah, we're sorry in
mad.
advance.
Yeah. Promise not to get mad,
Yeah.
but the ending's gonna suck.
Yeah, not good luck.
And by ending, I'm just meaning the final battle. I don't mean like the wrap up, but
yeah.
But yeah, that was I kind of fell on its face, I think, at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, any other final thoughts about It Chapter 2?
One thing I was wondering about, because I made a note of it when it happened in the movie, and then I kind of read something about it today, but I just want to bounce it off of you guys. So when Bill Hader's character is going to go get his totem, and he has his encounter with Pennywise, Pennywise says something along the lines of, "I know your secret," or something like that. And I was waiting for that to like kind of pay off. Like, okay, what's his secret? Like, I almost thought at the end when they were in the quarry that like he would, like when they went to go get his glasses, like something bad was gonna happen. But obviously nothing happened. But so it's like Pennywise says he knows his secret, or something like that. And then that was kind of it. And nothing was kind of revealed. And I guess what some people were saying is that he was actually gay, and he was in love with Eddie.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
was
the Bill Hader's character.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Oh well.
I mean, like when they were playing at the arcade, and he was talking with what's his face's cousin.
Yeah.
And everything, and they touched.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that only occurs to me like after I hear someone else say it. When I was watching it, like when I see that scene, for example, I'm just like, oh, this guy's a dick, and he's like doesn't want to be seen associating with one of the losers. And then also like when he's carving their name onto the fence or whatever, I was like, oh, that's just what kids who are best friends do.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
it's weird.
But then
because...
I guess.
Sorry, go.
I was gonna say but I guess because I don't know. A lot of people say there's like a lot of subtext in the books about them being gay, and it's never really explicitly, like they never explicitly say whether they or not they are. But so I just like, to me it was just like, okay, well I guess you can interpret it that way.
Yeah, so actually, it's interesting you brought that up because I'm kind of a mix of what you said. Like when they first showed that scene where he was at the arcade, I got that feeling that, he was, he's gay, hasn't come out yet, so he felt kind of ashamed of that. So when he touched that other kid, the bully's cousin, essentially, there was that moment where they both felt it, that they had that connection, but of course his cousin comes out and the other guy isn't comfortable with who he is, so he just calls him a queer and all those other words. But yeah, later on when Bill Hader goes and carves the name on that pole, I don't know. I thought that was like what you said, it was like a sign of brotherhood or, a sign of
Right.
remembrance, because I thought, like, if it was to the point that he loves him in a romantic way, they did a terrible job at explaining that, because, I mean, what was so romantic about their relationship? They were just, it just seemed like
they were always
Yeah.
They were always dunking on each other. Like, how would you interpret that as them having a homosexual relationship?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Does that mean, I mean, we dunk on David all the time. That doesn't mean we're gay? Wait, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
So Dave,
How you doing?
so what are you doing for dinner later, David?
David, like, what are you doing this weekend?
Both of you. Oh, was that not supposed to be the answer?
Well, I'm gonna go carve our names on a tree. Be right back.
BRB.
But yeah, I think they did a pretty, because I have listened to a few podcasts about this and read a few articles, and a lot of people were kind of confused about where this is going, and if they were going with the romantic route, it felt that they did not do a good job of setting that up.
Right. And so the only thing I can say is that when I was watching it, it did not come across to me that Bill Hader, adult version or kid version, was gay. But I guess after combining it with what everyone's interpretation and what Pennywise said about how he knows his secret, I mean, I guess I could see that, because they never actually said what his secret. They never revealed what the secret was.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess that would be, if you need to make that leap, I guess that's the leap you can make.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it definitely didn't change anything for me, whether or not he's gay or not, but
Right.
I guess...
Oh, no, I
missed
completely
it.
changed how... No. Yeah.
But yeah, this is why I was kind of confused during the movie, because they brought up that whole scene at the beginning where they do the gay bashing, and then they also brought up about how Bill Hader was afraid to come out as being gay. So I was just like, okay, where are they going with this? And they don't go anywhere with it. So they just went around in a circle.
Right.
It was confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to say, if it's not going anywhere, then why did you just do it for the sake of doing it? Then
yeah,
the same
writing.
reason Beauty and the Beast had the
gay Gaston.
Yeah, just to pretty much have a checklist. Oh, yeah, we got the gay crowd in,
Yep.
I mean,
Which almost, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for gay people, but it almost just seems like pandering.
No, it is. I hate when that happens, but yeah.
Do you really? Pandering. Is that how? I mean, is that how you want it to be represented? Is by being pandered to? That doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, seems terrible.
But yeah, that was the one thing that was sticking out in my head was the whole Pennywise, I know your secret thing, and I was just like, what's the secret?
Oh, there was one scene that kind of confused me. It was a small segment, but it just seemed kind of off to me. Remember when Eddie went down into the pharmacist and he was rescuing his mother?
Oh, right.
And the leper, and he was choking the leper out?
And then she vomits in his face?
Yeah, it vomits in his face, and it plays that sound clip of the... I don't know what the song is called, but that Angel song, right?
No, I'm gonna need you to sing it.
The Sarah McLachlan song?
Not the Sarah McLachlan song.
Not David. Not every song is Sarah McLachlan.
Not
in the arms
not that one. But
then which one? Ben, sing it for us.
Well, now I have to look up the lyrics so I can give you a good representation of it.
Well, if you look up the lyrics, wouldn't that stand to reason? You can tell us what the song name is.
Huh. Angel by Shaggy? No.
No,
wait, no.
Played a Shaggy song?
Wait, no, that means... Oh, shit, no, not that one. But, it has the same lyrics. But, anyways... Did that scene feel off to you? To any of you?
That was unnecessary.
Getting thrown up on?
No, not that. I mean, the thrown up part was fine. It's just the music part. I was just like, wait, what?
I don't know. Maybe they were trying to like
Waste some movie budget.
ram some comedy, some comedic, because he was also kind of like a source of comic relief too. Was Eddie's character?
Yeah,
Because I mean, Eddie and Bill Hader's character, I don't remember his name, but they were like the ones who were always taking jabs at each other.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like it seems so odd that they would put that music in when they could have just not, and it could have still been, a good horror piece. I guess.
Right.
I mean, it was still an okay piece. Like he goes in, tries to save his mom, can't, and then he goes back in, and it's that leper from the first movie, right? And he comes back to haunt him, and it looks like he has the upper hand, and then vomits all over him. Like that could have been it, but then they added that song.
It's a wicked bomb.
Yeah, like, it was just really jarring to me. Kind of took me out of the moment. Like, oh, okay, guess it's not horror anymore. But yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, the first It movie was like a really good combination of horror and comedy,
right.
which was like an unusual, but like pleasant surprise.
Mhm.
Whereas this one was like, not the horror just kind of wasn't there, but the comedy still kind of was.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, I can see that. Okay.
That's all I got. I think.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
Don't fuck with fat Bens in middle school.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good place to stop.
Because they turn out really hot later on in life and really successful.
Is this someone you know, Ben?
No, I'm just.
Do we know a Ben like
I'm just
that?
saying in general. I think that's where the movie's moral message was heading.
Because like every Ben I've ever interacted with has been kind of whack. So
yeah,
I
find that not really true. Maybe like early on in life, but when you get to the 28-year-old range, that it's when they really start to blossom, really start to grow their wings, really start to take off, and really show the world they have value, more than value. They're going to shape the world, really.
Hey world, I may not be able to eat chocolate, but I still have value.
Or seafood.
Shellfish.
Yeah. Or nuts.
You mean D's nuts? Yeah, I can't.
Yep, he can't have those either.
Nope.
Our Ben is flawed. We would like to trade him in.
We want for It Chapter 2 Ben. We want that Ben.
The good-looking, rich, successful Ben.
We can be on his boat and playing with his dog.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, the part where they were in the house and like Pennywise was carving on Ben. Like
that was actually, I thought it was pretty clever of the way to be able to kind of blend original with the first one and the second one together.
I thought it was a clever way to really show off Ben's abs.
Oh yeah, that too. I think that
was
like,
in the actor's contract.
Yeah. Can we get an abs
I gotta
shot?
have abs. Like they had to compromise. He wanted like the full frontal nudity scene, but they're like, no, you know what? We can't do that. But we can give you the abs shot.
I'm surprised that he didn't, wasn't shirtless on his boat at the very end of the movie. That's how most seamen do it.
Wow.
Seaman.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up our review of this week's movie of the week, It Chapter 2. Guys, what do you guys think we should be doing for next week's movie? I have one vote for Hustlers.
Hustlers.
Is that your vote, or are you saying so far
That's my vote.
has been one? Okay.
Hustlers.
Either that, or I'll probably end up watching Lion King this week since there's nothing else on either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough. I don't have an opinion. I think having to watch Lion King or Hustlers, I'll be equally nonplussed about it.
Hustlers it is. And the Hustlers take it.
All right.
Hustlers? Okay. Well, at least there'll be hot chicks in it, right?
So at least we'll be reviewing the Hustlers store in Hollywood.
Okay. Oh shit.
On Sunset.
Wow.
So
just kidding.
Just quick. I want to bounce this one off of you guys. What do you think now that we've decided on Hustlers is more weird? A grown ass man going to see Hustlers by himself, or a grown-ass man going to see Dora Lost City of Gold by himself?
Dora Lost City of Gold.
Gonna probably say Dora the Lost City of Gold.
Both resounding?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hands
I'm
down.
sure that's pretty resigning. Because you
Not
could
e-
just
not
say,
even-
I'm a huge fan of J-Lo, and she hasn't made a movie in almost 15 years. So.
I mean, nobody says that, but
Yeah, but I mean, if you take a
really
girl
gotta
to
go with a reason. That's the reason.
if you go take a girl to see both of those with you, then it's not really weird. So, just,
I mean, but is it just like night and day difference, or is it a close race into how weird it is?
I think it's a pretty big
Is it
difference.
like an ocean
It's
of
like-
difference?
yeah, it's a
or-
pretty. I think it's an ocean of difference because Hustlers, it's like, oh, you could go see it because you heard good reviews about it, and it could be a.
You're
gritty
saying
take on
that
drama.
Dora didn't have. You're saying Dora didn't have good reviews, Ben?
Dora did have good reviews.
No, it had wonderful reviews,
Yeah. So,
and also
anyways,
our wonderful review as well.
I just wanted to see. I just want to get a gauge for awkwardness.
I think it should be fine. I mean, you're only buying the off of the app, right? Most of the time.
Yeah, but then
So
that's
you just have to deal with the awkwardness of just having the ticket guy scan your ticket and tell you which theater you're in. I don't think
that's
the
is
one
the
thing that
hardest
gets you.
part of this whole this whole thing is having to have them tell me what theater I'm going to based on the movie I'm seeing.
Or you can just say that you're there to support Constance Wu. You really liked her in Crazy Rich Asians, and
I didn't watch it.
Boo.
you could just say that.
Are you booing me for not seeing Crazy Rich Asians?
They had a really good scene about making dumplings. That made me really hungry.
I can watch. I can go on YouTube and watch how to make dumplings.
Oh
by
yeah, because they
people-
upload the clip from Crazy Rich Asians.
But yeah.
All right, well, that sounds like it settles it. This week we'll be watching Hustlers, to much of Stu's discomfort.
Perfect.
But I think it should be good. It has a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so it should be pretty decent. I look forward to seeing it. That should be pretty entertaining. Other than that, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Dose and a Half Cincos. This has been your host, David.
And I'm Stuart.
And I'm
I didn't
down.
like that. Why'd you copy me?
What do you mean?
Well,
When
whatever.
I
We'll
said
fix it.
I'm
We'll fix it.
Don't
And
forget
I'm
to
Stu.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
don't forget to tip your Reiki masters, and we'll check you next time.
Play us off, Spanish, please.